Your cat just stretched right in front of you. You smiled, maybe said "oh," and moved on. But here's what nobody tells you. That single movement was your cat trying to say something. Something most owners never hear because they don't know what to look for. In the next few minutes, you're going to find out exactly what your cat means when they stretch toward you, why they only do it around certain people, and what it says about the bond between you and your cat that no one ever bothered to explain. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you will never look at your cat the same way again. Let's start with a question most cat owners have never thought to ask. If your cat was just stretching out stiff muscles, why does it almost always happen right when you walk into the room? Not 5 minutes before. Not 10 minutes after. Right when you appear. The timing is not an accident. Scientists who study feline behavior have a specific name for what your cat is doing. They call it a social stretch. And the reason it matters is because this particular stretch is not triggered by the body. It is triggered by you. Your cat sees you walk in. Something fires inside their brain, and their body responds, not to physical tension, but to your presence. Think about what that actually means for a second. Your cat is not stretching because their muscles need it. Your cat is stretching because you showed up. You, specifically. That movement, that full-body extension toward you, is one of the most direct forms of communication a cat is capable of, and most owners walk right past it. Here is what makes this even more interesting. Cats do not perform this behavior for everyone equally. If you share your home with other people, take a moment and think, does your cat stretch the same way around everyone in the house? Or is there one person who seems to get it more than others? If you notice the difference, you already know something important. That difference is not random. That difference is your cat showing you exactly who matters most in their world. Behaviorists who study multi-person households have consistently found that cats' direct social behaviors, eye contact, vocalizations, slow blinks, and yes, stretches toward specific individuals. Not randomly, not based on who feeds them, based on emotional connection. So if your cat stretches the most around you, that is not a small thing. That is your cat telling you, in the only language they have, that you are their person. Now, here is the part that gets even deeper. Wild cats do not do this. If you went to the African savanna right now and watched wild cats move through the grass, you would never see this behavior. Not once. Because the social stretch did not evolve in the wild. It has no survival function. There is no prey to impress, no predator to signal, no reason for it to exist, except one. Humans, thousands of years ago, when cats first began sharing space with people, something began to shift inside them. They started developing new behaviors. Behaviors specifically designed for human interaction. Adult meow. Wild cats only meow as kittens, never as adults. The slow blink, built entirely for human bonding. And this stretch. A study published in Animal Cognition confirmed that domestic cats have developed a unique range of behaviors used exclusively when interacting with people. Not with other cats, not in response to prey. How with us? That means when your cat stretches in front of you, they're not following ancient instinct. They are running a program that their ancestors never had, a program that evolved over thousands of years of living alongside humans and was refined, specifically, for moments like this one. That is not just biology. That is a relationship, and it goes deeper than most people ever realize, because that stretch is doing something else entirely, something you cannot see, cannot smell, and would never know about, unless someone told you, which is exactly what we are going to cover next. Here is something most cat owners find out and cannot stop thinking about. Your cat has scent glands in places you have probably never considered. Between their cheeks, along their chin, at the base of their tail, and right there, between the pads of their paws. When your cat stretches, especially when they press their paws downward into a surface, those paw glands activate. They release pheromones, chemical signals that are completely invisible and completely undetectable to humans. You will never smell them. You will never see them. But to another cat, those signals say everything. Now here's where it connects to you. When your cat stretches near you on the sofa cushion where you always sit, on the bed where you sleep, right at your feet on the floor, they are not just greeting you. They are doing something far more deliberate. They are leaving invisible marks on your space. Marks that say, in the clearest feline language possible, "This human is mine," not in an aggressive way, not in the way a cat hisses at a stranger. This is comfort territory. This is safe space, marking. Your cat is announcing to the world, or at least to any cat who might wander through, that you belong to them, that you are inside their inner circle, that your space is their space, and that is not something they give away. Because here is what makes this more meaningful than most people realize. Cats are ruthlessly selective about where they leave these marks. They do not scatter their sense signals carelessly. They deposit them in places they care about, spaces that feel safe, beings they have decided to trust. You are one of those beings. Every time your cat stretches at your feet or needs the cushion beside you, they are quietly, invisibly, permanently signing their name next to yours. And there is a second layer to this that goes beyond scent. When a cat stretches, they're also exposing their most vulnerable areas. The soft underbelly, the chest, the throat. In the wild, exposing these areas around another creature is a risk. A real, physical risk. Predators target those zones. Competitors go for them, so when your cat drops into a full stretch right next to you, belly low, chest open, completely exposed, they're not being casual. They are making a statement. They are saying, "I feel safe enough around you to let my guard down completely. You are not a threat. You are the opposite of a threat. You are the reason I can relax." That level of trust is not automatic for a cat. It is earned slowly, over dozens of interactions, over months, sometimes years, of consistency and calm. And once a cat decides to give it, they give it in small, quiet gestures, not dramatic displays. A slow blink across the room, a tail raised in greeting, a stretch right there at your feet. If you have been receiving these signals without realizing what they meant, you have been sitting in the middle of a very quiet, very sincere form of love and simply not hearing it. Now you are hearing it. But the story does not stop at scent, because there is a specific moment in your cat's daily routine when this stretch becomes something else entirely, something that goes beyond communication and starts to look almost ritualistic, and it happens first thing in the morning. Have you ever opened your eyes in the morning to find your cat already awake, right there beside you, stretching the moment you stir? Most people think this is just convenient timing. It is not. Cats are what biologists call crepuscular, meaning their natural activity peaks at dawn and dusk. While you were sleeping through the night, your cat was almost certainly awake, moving around the house, watching, patrolling. They could have stretched any time during those hours. They chose not to. They waited until your eyes opened. That decision, and it is a decision, is one of the more quietly profound things your cat does for you. Behaviorists who study feline bonding describe this specific morning stretch as a reset behavior, a way of marking the transition from the sleeping world back into the shared world. Your cat is saying, "You are back. We are together again. Let's begin." It is the feline version of good morning, and they only say it to the people they have bonded with most. If you have ever had a house guest stay over, think about what happens. Your cat probably did not stretch in front of them first thing in the morning. That greeting is not universal. It is personal. It is reserved, specifically, deliberately, for you. But there is something else built into that morning stretch that most people never consider. While you were asleep, your cat was watching over you. This might sound sentimental, but behavioral research supports it. Cats in bonded households show heightened vigilance around sleeping owners. They position themselves near exits, face outward, remain alert to sounds and movements in the environment. They are, in the most literal sense, guarding you. So when morning comes and they finally stretch that full body release, muscles loosening, spine extending, it is not just a greeting. It is them letting go. It is relief. The night is over. You are awake. You are fine. They can finally relax. That stretch is their exhale, and once you understand that, you realize you have been watching your cat decompress from a night of quietly keeping you safe. and you never even knew it was happening. Now, there is another version of this stretch that is equally deliberate, and if you have ever tripped over your cat in a doorway or had to step around them sprawled across the middle of the hallway, you already know exactly what we are about to talk about. Because that is not an accident either. When your cat stretches directly in your path, right in the doorway, right in the hallway, exactly where they know you are going to walk, they are not being careless. They are being strategic. Cats are deeply aware of spatial patterns. They learn where you walk. They study your routines, and when they choose to stretch in the one spot guaranteed to make you stop, they are making a very deliberate choice. They are choosing to be impossible to ignore. Think about it from your cat's perspective. They could stretch behind the couch, under the table, in any corner of any room where you would never notice. But they do not. They find the one path you always take, and they claim it. This is confident behavior. Almost cocky. Your cat is not hoping you'll notice them. They are ensuring it. And every time you stop, every time you look down, laugh, say something, reach down to touch them, your cat learns that this strategy works, that they can redirect your attention on demand, that they matter enough to pause your entire momentum. Most owners find this charming. What they do not realize is that they just confirmed something important to their cat. You stop for me. That means by rank. That is not arrogance. That is a cat who feels secure enough in your bond to test it and confident enough to know they will pass. Now we get to the part some of you have been waiting for. What if your cat does not stretch when they see you? What if you have watched this entire video thinking, mine never does that? What does that mean? First, and this is important, it does not mean your cat dislikes you. It does not mean your bond is broken or weak or beyond repair. But it does mean something, and that something is worth taking seriously. Cats who do not display the social stretch around their owners typically fall into one of two situations. Either they do not feel fully relaxed in their environment, or they have learned through experience that stretching does not get a response. Let's start with the second one, because it is more common than people expect. Remember what we established earlier in this video? The social stretch is not pure instinct. It is a learned behavior. It evolved because, over time, cats discovered that this signal reached humans, that, when they stretched, humans responded. The bond deepened, but behavior that gets no response eventually disappears. If your cat stretched in front of you 10 times, and 10 times you walked past without acknowledging it, your cat did not decide you were a bad person. They simply updated their model. They learned that this particular signal does not land with you, and they stopped sending it. That is not coldness. That is efficiency. Cats do not waste energy on communication that goes nowhere. The good news is that this is completely reversible. Start paying attention. When your cat does anything that resembles reaching out, a slow blink, a quiet chirp, a stretch, even in a distant corner of the room, pause. Acknowledge it. A soft word, a slow blink back, a gentle touch, if they are open to it. You are not just being kind. You are actively teaching your cat that their signals reach you. That communication between you works, and over time, not overnight, but over time, you will start to see new behavior emerge. Now, for the first situation, cats who are tense in their environment do not stretch freely. They can not. The social stretch requires a level of physical relaxation that stressed cats simply do not access. A cat living with loud noise, unpredictable schedules, tension between household members, or frequent disruptions will hold their body tight. Not because they want to, but because their nervous system will not allow the release. If this sounds like your cat, the path forward is not about the stretch. It is about the environment. Consistency matters more to cats than almost any other factor. Regular feeding times, predictable daily rhythms, calm/low chaos energy in the home, safe spaces where they can retreat without being followed or disturbed. Give a cat those things, genuinely, consistently, over months, and watch what their body starts to do. The stretch is a symptom. Safety is the cure. And here is the final thing we want to leave you with today. Every behavior we covered in this video, the social stretch, the morning greeting, the path block, the invisible scent marking. None of it is performed for strangers. None of it is wasted on people your cat has not decided to invest in. Your cat is one of the most emotionally efficient creatures that shares human spaces. They do not perform. They do not pretend. They do not give away signals. They do not mean. So if your cat stretches toward you, if they do it in the morning, in the doorway, at your feet, in the middle of the room when you walk in, know this. That is not habit. That is not coincidence. That is not muscle stiffness. That is your cat choosing you. Quietly, consistently, every single day. And now, finally, you know what it means.